Yeah. Does anybody have F and G5 on that side? We may need to fill in some spots. I have F and G5. Oh, beautiful. As long as we have at least one per spot. You don't get a pair. I don't know why. Oh look, you get a map and this guy here. Right. Only if you need it. Whatever you want. I am easy and flexible. Hi, everybody. I just want to check to make sure all of our positions are covered. So I'm just going to yell out of a position, and if you are standing in front of those bells, or I just want you to say, I've got them, right? So because we do have 2 bell sets out, I want to make sure everything's covered. So G, A, and B3. G&A? I'm going to move you onto C and D4, and you're going to cover the 3. E and F4. Here. G and A4. Here. B4 and C5. Right here. D5 and E5. Right here. Great. F and G5. Right here. Great. A and B5. Here. Great. C6, D6, D7. Did you already put your hand up for position though? I've already got one. So you need to either pick whether you are ringing A and B or C and D. You can't ring all of them.
Combine cinnamon and sugar.
A and B.
With half of a cinnamon sugar mixture on top of butter.
And the D7 belongs to you as well in theory.
Into the
E and F6.
Cut the long
G and A6.
Then cut each of those logs in half lengthwise. Take each piece and wrap it around your
all right. Is there anybody in the room who is not going to be here this evening?
Bake at 350 for about 20 minutes, rotating the pan halfway through. Remove from the oven and immediately.
So the idea is that we are playing tonight. So we are learning a piece in an hour. We're going to learn everything we need to know for this piece. Anyway, so introductions, I guess. I need to tell you who I am. I'm Debbie, and I'm the Minister of Music at Trinity United Church in Cobourg, which is about halfway to Kingston from here. It took me way too long to get here yesterday because of the nasty traffic. I am the chair of Music United. And in terms of bells, we have an adult group at the church and a youth group that rings occasionally, a youth choir, handbell choir. I also, before the pandemic, had a community handbell choir. I've taught workshops for the Ontario Guild of English Handbell Ringers and for the National Seminar in the US. And I've been part of Handbell Musicians of Canada, and so lots of bell stuff in my past. So anyway, thrilled to bits. I've never had a setup quite like this with the two rows, but anyway, that's it should be just fine. So what we have here in front of you is, can everyone see a copy of Make Me an Instrument of Thy Peace? Everybody's got a copy? That's what we're looking at. You need to identify where your bells are on the staff. Oh, are there any I've never touched a bell people in the room? Just one? Okay. All right. You're in a room full of people who can help you, so it's good news. And how many people currently ring in a handbell choir? Oh, a goodly number. Excellent, excellent. So identify where your bells are. So bells are a transposing instrument for my music directors in the crowd. So if you, the C3 or the C4 might not be the octave you think it is. So middle C is C5 for handbells. So figure out from there. Is there anyone who isn't sure which bells they're supposed to be reading? Looking around the room. This is really important information. D7. D, yes. Okay. So if you look at the very top of your piece, there's a handbell use chart. Oh, yeah. If you find D, where C6 and D6 are, The D7 is the one written right above that D6. It's got 2 ledger lines and it sits on top. It's right above it. And I will let you know when it is you need to ring that. Okay, and we'll get to that after. Okay, we're going to ring the first 4 bars of this piece. This is how this goes. So if you've never held a handbell before, because we're going to go through all of it, you hold it like an ice cream cone. Can I borrow a bell? So you hold your bell like an ice cream cone, yes? Just like this. This little thing in the middle, it means nothing to do with your hand. Nothing at all to do with your hand. So you don't put your hand through the loop or anything like that. You just hold it around like this. Yeah. And upright this way. So we're going to ring the bell in a circle. And then back to your shoulder to stop the sound. Everybody give me a nice ring. Pick a bell, any bell. Here we go. Good. We're going to make it all together. We need 4 counts. We're in 4/4. So we're going to do 4 beats in a nice big circle. 2, 3, and go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, damp. Pick up another bell in your other hand. Okay, I don't know why I picked a giant bell to work with. Here we go. So we're going to do your left hand, then your right hand, then your left hand, then your right hand. 4 beats each. 2, 3, here we go. It's left, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, big circles, and left, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, when you come back and you switch hands, it's like the pedal of a piano, right? We have to damp out that bell, or we're going to get ugly bleeding, right? So make sure that when you switch hands, when you ring, you're going to damp sort of at the same time, right? So let's try that again. 2, 3, here we go. It's left, 2, 3, 4, and damp. 2, 3, 4, and damp. 2, 3, 4, and damp. 2, 3, 4. And even if you're an experienced ringer, nice big circles that are pretty even. We're going for even circles, and we want to match our neighbors. Bell ringing is a visual thing too. So, right, we want to match our neighbors, even if they're like really tall, or even if they're a little tiny person, like you've got some kid in your choir or whatever. You know, you want to make sure that you're matching your circles. They're nice and even. One more try. 2, 3, here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or watch the director, mirror me. 2, and 1, 2, 3, awesome, much better, good. All right, so you'll see in bar 1, we have a technique with the down arrow and the up arrow, and those are tower swings. Everybody done tower swings? No, not everyone has done tower swings. We have people who haven't even rung. So a tower swing, I just don't want to hit anything, or step backwards in the wrong way. So when you're doing a swing, there's a couple legitimate ways to do a tower swing. There's other ways out there, not so legitimate. When you do a tower swing, you're going to be ringing the bell. You're going to be going down. Do not go past your side. You don't want to be swinging back here, because there might be someone behind you, a wall. Then you get the Walmart, right? Or a person or a table or an organ on the side, right? So to here only, right? So you're going to be turning it upside down. You're going to be like ring, down, up, damp. So try that with me. And if you're worried about hitting your table, you can step back with the same leg you're swinging. So it'll be 1 step up, and if you're worried about hitting something behind you, just, yeah, don't worry about that right now. 2, 3, here we go. It's a ring, swing, up, and unlike the nice measured circle, it's kind of Doppler effect. You want to have the whoomp whoomp of the bell going down and going up, or it misses the sound effect. It looks cool, but you miss the sound effect. So you want to make sure that you kind of whip that bell down and then whip it back up again. 2, 3, again is 1, down, up, and. If you've got big bells, that might be heavy, so be careful. Now, the other thing you can do, if you're limited on room, you don't have time to step backwards, all that stuff, you can do it from the elbow. Gosh, I don't want to do it with this bell. Give me something smaller. You can go ring this way, but don't re-ring it. 1, 2, 3. Did you hear it? Yeah, so you can do it from your elbow. That's fine. That's fine. That's a totally legit way to do it. Doesn't look maybe as cool, but it is a quick way to get it up and down, depending on the tempo of your piece too. So that is an option. I will let you pick whichever way is best for you. All right, we're gonna ring the first 4 bars. So we're going to do our swings on beats 2 and 3. In this piece, they're ambiguous, and boy, did I do some research. I really did. I went and listened to a whole bunch of bell choirs. Some of them do them on 2 and 3 here. Some of them do them on 3 and 4. I think it's supposed to be 3, but we're just gonna pick that they're on 2 and 3. Kind of arbitrary, but there it is. Here's the first 4 bars. Only ring your bells now. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Do we all have B flats in our hands? Make sure you have, okay. I'm like, I hear B natural, but I have 2 bell choirs. I don't know where it is. B flats, because we've got a key signature. Not bad. If you repeat the same bell from one bar to the next, you don't need to damp it, right? Because it's the same thing, and then you ring the same thing again. You don't need to damp in between. And especially in something like this that's kind of big and free and whatever, don't damp out between unless you don't ring again in the next bar. Okay, here's bar 1, 2, 3, here we go. It's 1. Awesome, very good, good. And then we're gonna make sure that the bass bells will all make sure they do a nice clean damp on beat 1 of bar 5. It's just like choral singing. You damp on the next beat if you have a rest. And my upper bells are going to start, some of you will start to pick up bells. So, I mean, there is see all those ledger lines? No, so, so you just have to know where yours are. So you ring your B and C6, that's right. And then, so let me show you, oh, the little guys are down there. Yeah, could you move your person and just go and, yes, can you go as well? Yes. No, you're good. Okay, if you are shelling, if you are a person who needs to ring a 6 and a 7 at the same time, so this is a lesson for everybody, you might as well, but don't try it with the big ones, okay? So this is how it works. If you have one note and you need to ring the octave at the same time, we're going to, in this piece, you do not need to 4 in hand, which is where you can ring 2 in one hand independently. We don't need that. We don't need that for this piece. So a Shelley is where you get the 2 bells and you cross the handles so they're both facing up like this at 90 degrees to each other. You see that? And then what you do is you take your hand, and this is the finger is going to go between the 2 bells. You see that? So I put my pointer finger in between the 2 bells so that you've got that, and then you just ring them at the same time. Like that. They go the same direction, just ring them like a normal bell. That's right. Or knock on the door. There you go. Is that? That's lovely, isn't it? Well, yes, it is. It is. I mean, I think I've got weird notes here, but yes, yeah. So it means that we can play two at once, and they're the same. They're the same action. It's really quite straightforward. So if you don't have it, and then you do have it, you have your bell on the table like that. And just open these 2 fingers because you've got this in your hand, right? You just open the fingers, pick up the bell. Now you've got it. Ring it. Put it back down again, right? If you need to put it back down again, depending on what's coming up. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. If you've got little bells, go ahead and try that. So I'd say maybe like a C6 and up. And I don't care what bells you use, just try and picking them up, give it a ring. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Those are too big. Those are too big to do shells.
Try and get them more. Oh, don't put your fingers in the middle of the hand. Oh, you don't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So which one
This
was
is
it?
the 6.
Oh, they are now.
Yeah, they are. Yep. You can have your bells back.
Mary down there. Did you get it, Mary?
Did you get it?
Yeah. Bronwyn's got it.
Beautiful.
Mary beside it.
Oh. So cross them like this with the handles all facing up. So I do it on the table. Just take one, 90 degrees. There you go.
You have to pick up the same bell.
Worst case scenario, I'll just take the lower of the lower octave because the upper ones are optional. And you'll have to figure out where your notes are. Just take the lower ones and just ring the lower ones. Okay, we are going to ring from bar 1 to bar 10 and see what happens. Here we go. 2, 3, and go. It's down, up, and. Going on and. Bar 10, down, up. Aha, and then there's a pause there, so we'll look up and for bar 10. Don't worry about the writ. Who is A5 and A6? Who has A5 or A6?
I'm A6.
A6, A5? No, that's okay, we have one at the other end, that's fine. Just make sure you don't miss, you are on beat 2 of bar 8. It looks like there's a half note and then your note, but that's not what's intended. You're actually needs to be, the quarter note rest is yours. So it would be 1, 2, right? Make sense? Yeah. Good. Questions about bars 1 to 10? Good, excellent. All right, let's move on. So this is a handbell techniques class. So I picked something with a bunch of them. LV stands for let vibrate, that's right. So you let vibrate until when? No. Until the next LV. Yeah. So I mean, yes, in this case, you're right. Until the next LV. So in bar 11, we would not damp, not damp, not damp, not damp until bar 12. If you ring the same note in bar 12, you don't need to damp it. If you don't, then you do need to damp it, right? And then in bar 13, you've got 2 beats worth of LV, then another 2. Do you see how this works? So it's giving you, it's the sustain pedal on the piano. It's telling you where to pick it up and put it back down, right? But we all have to kind of agree on where that is, and it's telling you exactly where those things are for you, the pianists in the group. That happens until every time until there's another LV or until there's an R, which means ring normally, which is what we call note value damp, which is where we start damping every note again. Okay, so, and there isn't one of those until bar 23. So let's try some of this. Now, who does the LV in bar 11 apply to? It applies to the bass clef. It also applies to the stems down in the treble, but it does not apply to the stems up in the treble. Stems up in the treble have the melody. You are going to ring normally. Does that make sense? If you are a person who sometimes has a stem down and sometimes have a stems up, then you get, your part's more complicated. I don't know if there's any of, C and D6 might be the only people who do that, but I don't think it's a real issue, the way this has been written. Well, the LV is written in the middle, and the fact that they've separated it out like that tells me that there's something different with the treble clef. And I'm also looking at it kind of harmonically. I think it'll sound muddy and bleedy if we let the melody do that. So we're going to note value damp the upper. Okay, this is bar 11. Let's give it a go and see what happens. If you're LV, you don't need to damp until it says so. Yes? Here we go. Bar 11, right on it. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 3, and 4. 12, 2, and 3, and 4. 14, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 15. 3 and 4 and 17. 3 and 4 and 19. 22 and 21. Well, look at that. 2 and 3. 22. 2 and 3 and 4 and 23. 2 and 3 and stop. Okay, couple things we're going to look at. Let's look at the bass clef first. So when you have these chords, and see how in the bass clef we've got chord, 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 they're all the same. What I'm deciding you're going to do is you're going to make one circle per bar. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, right? I want you to go 1, 2, 3, right? Low, medium, high, bum, bum. So one circle per bar, and we're going to do that as a group. Can I have my bass people do that, please? Just my bass. Bass 11, 2, 3, here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. There we go. Good, good, good. And again, match your circles, right? Good. So you can practice doing that. When you repeat chords like that, it's easy to do, especially in a piece like this. Bar 11. I'll give you one thing to think about at a time. Bar 11, LV, big circles. 2, 3, here we go. 2, 3, 2, stop. More melody, please. 1, 2, bar 11. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Stop for a second. Okay, let's look at these E flats.
That's me. That's me. I'm not hitting it.
There's a bunch of E flats. So E naturals have to change out to E flats. And so how do we do that? So you need to mark in your music probably where you put down E natural. And you don't need to damp it on your shoulder. You can just put it down on the table, right? The only reason we use our shoulders is so that we don't have to go to the table all the time, right? Everything's up, 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 up. But if you're changing your bell, you can just bring it, and putting it down damps it. You don't need to damp it and then put it on the table. That's extra work for you and takes too long. So look at where your last E natural is in bar 19 and then switch it out to your E flat. So you'll ring your E natural, put it on the table, pick up the E flat, ready to ring it. That makes sense? Then backwards, because you have to remember to get rid of your E flat. The E flat lasts 2 bars because it's marked for the whole bar, right? And then it's marked for the next bar too. Then you have to put it down and pick up your E natural again so that you're ready for your E natural when it comes back, right? And I don't think there's any fancy weaving that has to be done or anything. I think you can just do it that way. Let's try it. Everybody, please, at bar 17, 1, 7. This is the third bar at the top. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, it repeats back, good, to bar 11. And we will do the repeat, because why not? We just worked on it, let's do the repeat. So it goes back to bar 11. So let's go bar 11, second time. Bar 11, 2, 3. Okay, so what I'm hearing a little bit, and I'm sure you're hearing it too, is ba-ring, 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 right on the beat. So we can't do it here because I didn't bring them, but in your bell choir rehearsals, what you can do is you get bubble wrap and you put it on the floor, and then you all get a tennis ball, right? And then you try and bounce that tennis ball to bounce those bubbles on that bubble wrap all at the same time. Okay, and you watch your director for that, right? Your director will give you an up, bounce, right? So everyone just take your imaginary tennis ball, because I don't have tennis balls, and then they all roll over and you all have to go get them across the other end of the hall. But here we go, we're gonna go and bounce. Yes, and give them a good boink, like you're bouncing that tennis ball right on the floor. Here we go, and boom. Right, pick up a bell, any bell, I don't care. Ready? And ring. Right? So we all have to do that together, right? So you do that by watching me, you do that by kind of peripheral watching your partners, right? We have to try and keep that together, because otherwise we get that ring, where's the beat, right? So we don't want that. But that's definitely something you guys can practice in your rehearsal. And who doesn't like bubble wrap? I know, I do. Let's read on at bar 24. So more of the same. In terms of technique, our E-naturals are back in hand. Here we go, bar 24. Oh, don't drop my bells. Don't drop my bells. There we go. 3 and 4 and 24. 2, 3 and 4 and 1. 2, 3 and 4 and 1. 2. It's better already. 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3, 4. Big crescendo here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, it changes. Good. Okay. Now at 35, our F4 people, and it'll apply also eventually to C4, D4, and E4, just because I've looked at the music, we'll start malleting. I give you all mallets because I thought you might want to see what's what. So everyone grab your mallets. Okay. So I've got a mallet and I've got a bell. So when you're malleting, a few things that you need to bear in mind. Your aim is to mallet just where it starts to curve. So we don't mallet on the edge, we don't mallet near the handle. We mallet just where it starts to do this. And it's on the table. I don't have a table in front of me, but it's on the table. Mallet, 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 mallet. And it is, and be careful that we don't mallet and plunk, right? We don't want to, because that's not a nice sound. We want to draw the mallet up, 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 up. Give it a few hits. Right. So now everyone look at that bottom F part, right? Now we don't want, you've got a mallet in each hand, right? And yes, you need two. So If you had E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, or something like that, then you would mallet back and forth, right? Your left hand would go with your left bell and your right hand would go with your right bell. But that's not what we have. We have a whole bunch, and we don't want to just sort of mallet with one hand. We alternate our mallets. Alternating mallets is the general rule. And you want your mallet to be kind of free. Like, don't give it a death grip, right? Bing, bing, bing. So, bum, 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 bum. Dum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. Right? So here's your rhythm, right? 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Everyone pick a bell and mallet the F4 rhythm. 1, 2, here you go. 1, 2, and 3, 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 1, 2. Good, and it is on the table. The bell stays on the table. That's why we have two hands available to do it. So although you bring up a good point, if there is a way sometimes that we use our mallets in the air, and what that would look like is instead of a staccato dot, there would just be a plus. And that's a mallet in the air. It would sound like that, right? Yeah, so a plus with a dot is mallet on the table, a plus without a dot or just a dot in the air. Yeah, that's your difference for mallets. The only other time you might do that is if, I don't know if this church has a bell tree, but that's where you get your bells and you like lock the handles like this, and there's a whole string of them, and then you can hang it up and you can use your mallets to play them.
I made one, but we don't have anything to hang it on.
Oh.
Previously, I've put them together like that, but we don't have any.
Like a hook.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you, even if you just have 4 or 5 of them, you can hold, and that works really nicely for like processionals and stuff. You're walking from the back of the church. If you're doing like a random mallet thing with the organ going or whatever, that can be really lovely. They actually sell like a flag bearer has. It's like a shepherd's crook, and you can hang it on there, right? And then you can do the same kind of thing. Or you can even make bell trees. There's instructions online with patterns on how to use your IV pole and make your. Okay, let's go from bar 35 on your own parts. If you do not have a dot, like you're not F4, you're just ringing your bells. You've got nice circles, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you are an F4, you're malleting away. Do I have 1 or 2 F4 people? Just 1? It's a solo. Amazing.
I might only use one mallet.
No. Your arm will fall off, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. Used to. It'll actually be easier to use to. Oh, I promise it's easier to use to. Yes, I'm not trying to make your life harder, I'm trying to make it easier. Okay. Oh, I think you can do it. I believe, yeah, maybe. Yes. Is there an F4 bell just like on the table over there? I would. Move F4. Oh, and the corresponding, so 2.
There's another one of the light ones. Dorothea.
No, I got 2. I'm good.
No, Dorothea, there's another light one there.
Okay. That's fine. I don't know why you guys have a weird mismatch pair. Anyway, that's fine. Those are good. Here we go. This is 35. And it's 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3. 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, circle, 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 circle. 1, 2, up, down, middle, up, down. 48. 55. 59. Shake. 1, 2, Okay, SK with a wiggle is a shake, and it applies to the entire chord in the treble clef. So if you ring in bar 60 in the treble clef, you shake your bell. And to shake a bell, we're just gonna make sure that that clapper hits the back, the front, 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 right? So in order to do that, you can't have like you can't really need that ice cream cone, right? Like you can't be like, "Ugh." You have to kind of just let it wobble back and forth, loosen up on the collar, and then you can give it a good shake. So can I have my trebles do that for me? If you ring bar 60, beat 2, treble clef, give me a shake. Here, I'll give you a 1 and you play on 2. And 1. Lovely. That's very good, very good. Okay, all right, let's go back and try this again. Hey, bass bells, that sounds great. You get a coffee break. 35. Your turn is coming. Your turn is coming. Oh, it's hot in here. 35. So go back, everyone's around it, yes? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Survived. 66, 67, 2, 68, 2, 69. We're still going. 70. Okay, so there's a transition at I know, and some of you with the photocopies have it on a page turn. At 85, there's a shake that applies to all treble clef again, and then we're in 4. And it's actually, I believe that's quarter note equals quarter note. Yes, somebody without a copy. So if we're going 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing weird. You just have to count to 4 instead. Okay. Pretty good, everybody, pretty good. A little shaky at the bottom of 5. Does anyone know what time this goes till? Was that? When did we start? 2:15? 2:15. All right, we have to finish this because we're playing it tonight. Let's move on. Let's go from bar 85. You're doing very well. Yeah, so top of page 7. This is to avoid you doing a page turn right now. Good. This is bar 85. This is in 3. You shake for 3, then we're in 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There you go. 2, 3, 4, 1. E flats and 1, 2, 3. Shake whole notes. 3, 4. Shake whole notes. Good for you. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And shake all the whole notes. Shake all of them. Shake all those whole notes. 3. LV is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 105 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Stop. Let's look at that. So you need to know what beat you're on. It's starting in 103. We go into these 8s, and they're LV, so you don't need to damp them. So you don't need to worry about it being finicky. And it's LV for bars and bars and bars, by the way. So you just don't need to worry about it. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bum 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 bum. Right? You just need to. Here's 103, everybody. 103. Know what beat you're on. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 2 and 3, and here's the shake. 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, what was our dynamic there? Please ring. Yes. Bum, bum, right? And you just shake. So this is 109 again. Here we go. 109. F, 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 right? Really loud. 1, 2, and go. It's 1, 2. 1, 2, here we go, and bump. Wait, are you worried about the rhythm there? That's it. So it's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a, right? 1 and a. It's right before beat 2. Bum bum, and just shake. So da da, shake, 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 shake. Here we go. This is 113, 2 and 3. So it's sorry. The first one you don't shake. You only shake the second one. Give me a something. Here we go. 113. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Well, that was it.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Let's agree. Let's agree to give the last bar. Let's give that fermata. Let's make it 5 beats. All right, you're gonna shake all the way down. When we're gonna shake in a circle so that it's ready to damp on 6. Here we go, last bar, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly, yeah, so we're gonna shake all the way to 6, right? So when we get there, all. Because the SK is above the treble and above the bass. Yeah, they've added the bass. So everybody just shakes away and it'll be, yeah, wonderful. Do play the C. This is 109. 109 again. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And make sure you damp everything. So even if you've forgotten to damp a bell, just damp it anyway. Everything that you're in your hand, make sure it's, otherwise there's that one still kind of going on forever and ever. Okay, we got through the whole piece. Good for us. Go back to the beginning. We need to know how to do this from one end to the other. Good for you. Turn on your thinking caps. Count, count, count. All these 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? Okay. We're not doing it freely, we're just gonna count. There's a limit. All right. Nah, I was thinking about ringing, but I won't. Here we go. From the beginning, here it goes. I'll give you 3, 4. Oh, watch, 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 watch. So we're gonna know what the problem is. So maybe that's the danger of swinging on 2, 3. 4, we have to hold, right? Ring, down, up, 4. Ring, down, up, 4. Don't ring on 4, 2, 3. Here we go. It's ring, down, up, 4. 2, 3. Bar 8A, good. And bar 1, down. And then your wait for me, and I'll give you ready and 1, 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and 14. 2. It goes back to bar 11.
Thank you.
13, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Tennis balls. 2. Three, 29. Ready with my Fs? And it's bum, 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 bum. Whoa, 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 whoa. But not that fast. But not that fast. But not that fast. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Can we just do this transition? 31, everyone. That's okay. 2, 3. 31. 2, 3 for the transition. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 32. Crescendo, here we go. Big chorus. Bum and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3. Watch your circles. Some of you are getting lazy. And 1, 2. One, 2, and 1. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1. Should have more people shaking there too. All treble clef shakes. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 105. And 2, 3, 4 and shake. Shake, 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 shake. 3, 4 and shake. 2, 3. It's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yeah, watch me at the end. Watch me at the end. Going all the way to the shoulder, and I'll damp with you. I'll damp with you so it's as clear as can be. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, yeah, so just watch the transitions. Watch when you're shaking, mark it in. Watch the transition back into 4 at the top of 7, right? And yes. Now, I feel like in some of the moving 8s, did we lose a player? Because I felt like I was missing something. Oh, okay. But no, did I actually lose like, and what was she ringing? F and G, A and B, somewhere in there? F and G?
D, A and A sharp, C and D. And a D.
A and B. Anyone else ring A and B 5? No. Okay, I have someone who rings well, who has volunteered to help tonight if we need her, so I will stick her on A and B 5 just so I make sure that those bells are covered, because I was like, I don't hear any A or B. I mean, in that octave, yeah, so just to make sure we have that. So that's great. Okay, everyone, well done. I think we're out of time. I'd like to run it one more time though, but I don't want to kill your break. Yes, have a look up here and say hi. Yes, look up here. Okay. And if you have any questions, like I'm happy to stick around for 10 minutes. If you have any questions about this or anything else spell related, come see me. Happy to, yeah. Thank you, everybody. It'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful.